So, yo, welcome to Soapbox Real Talk. Today I am joined by somebody who I've been following, somebody who I now consider to be quite an activist because, it's strange when you go up against a big organization, you have to really understand what you're taking on because so many people go up against organizations and they just leave it because these organizations have got the resources. And you came across my radar as somebody that is going across, basically living this whole David and Goliath thing where you're the little person fighting the big person over something that you've done. And so it's a pleasure to have Khadija here today, myself joined with Quincy. And so we thought we'd invite her in, give her a quick grilling, find out what's going on, find out what the real talk in the situation is, and find out exactly why you are now the David fighting the Goliath. So just tell me a little bit about how this all happened. How did this all happen?
Well, I had the idea for my book, Dark Girl Boss and the brand and Black Sterling as well, because I'm the author of Black Sterling, about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But I decided to go with Black Sterling first, and now I've decided to go with Dark Girl Boss. So what I did was I put stuff out there, done a little bit of a pre-launch, put stuff out there on social media. I created some T-shirts just to get some momentum going so that people could, get a feel for the brand. And I also registered for a trademark with the Intellectual Property Office. And thereafter I received a 6-page threatening letter from 6 pages from Hugo Boss, his solicitors.
When you received that email, what was your emotional reaction? Your first.
Well, to be honest, it was shock, horror. I was horrified. The blood drained from my face because I was wondering what on earth Hugo Boss would want from me. And not only that, it was the contents of the letter, the tone of the letter was completely intimidating. It ordered me to shut down, to delete my Twitter accounts, all of my social media accounts, anything that was associated with the word boss. It told me to remove my application from the IPO.
Really?
Yeah, I had to sign. They told me that I had to sign something to say that I'd remove it and I would never again apply using the word boss. And they told me if I didn't do that, they may take legal action and I would be liable for costs.
Just a simple email then?
Yeah, just a simple 6-page letter that they sent via the post and registered delivery as well.
You know what? For me, of all of the people or small companies Hugo Boss could have targeted, why do you think they came for you? Because this is a company, we can agree that most they take
worldwide brand.
Worldwide, they take the people to court on a regular basis. Who do you think introduced him to yourself?
Well, first of all, I believe that Hugo Boss have watchers. So watchers are people that would watch the publishing.
They trawl through.
Yeah, the publishing, the IPO publishing. Yeah, so they have people watching to see what goes through.
Yeah.
And I think the reason that this one, that they took on this one is because they could see that this is a brand that will probably be going somewhere. They could see it, and also I think that because it had the word dark in it, they had an issue with that. That's what I personally think.
Yeah.
Because there are other brands out there. There's a trademark called Girl Boss. And if you look, and also if you look on the Amazon, there's 76 pages of books with the word boss in it.
Boss.
Yeah. So the only conclusion I could come to is that there's an issue with the word dark.
So do you think their issue is with the whole presupposition that it's a black thing and they don't want to be associated with that kind of, even though black people buy a lot of their stuff.
That is an element of it because you can look at the logo and you can see that it's an African woman. It's obvious it's an African woman. So that is the logo. So you can see there's no mistake.
Yeah.
So for me, that is part of the issue.
So in your eyes, they've singled you out because you've done a couple of things. You were brave enough to use the word boss. Yeah. So you knew that you'd have to come up, or you'd possibly have to come up because the trademark thing. And then you've associated with the word dark.
Yeah.
And for them, that was a little bit too much,
yeah.
you feel. And they thought they wanted to keep the brand a little bit more...
And also, if something like this goes... I mean, someone said to me, all it takes is for someone like a celebrity, say, for example, they said Beyonce to put on that T-shirt. and then
And
you've
that's
got a
it.
massive brand.
Yeah.
And I think that Hugo Boss, they understand this because they've
Yeah.
been in the business
Yeah.
since
Yeah.
the 1920s. They understand how brand works, how they can grow quickly.
Yeah.
And for me, I think they had an issue with that as well.
Do you know it's really weird because right, this a rapper, Rick Ross, who calls himself the boss, is
Yeah.
he uses the boss a lot, and he might be endorsed by somebody, by an organisation like that. How did it? Who did you turn to when you first got that email? Like, who did you say, "Well, I'm going to call these people direct"? Who did you contact? A lawyer?
When I first saw it and I told you how I reacted, and then I just thought about it, and I thought, I'm not allowing this. They're not getting away with this. So what I did was called all my family, called my friends, told everybody.
And just got the word out
And
there.
then I thought, you know something, I'm taking this to the media.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not having it. They are not going to bully me. I'm taking this to the media, and that's what I did. I took it to the media.
Your inner Monique came out.
Well, yeah. I always say my warrior side came out. My warrior side came out, and I was not going to have it.
Yeah.
I was determined that I was going to win. I didn't know how, but I thought
But
the
you
first
did.
step was to get it out there, to expose them, to
Yeah,
expose
yeah.
how
This is what's going
they
on
treat
at Hugo Boss.
smaller, ordinary people, and not to let them get away with it.
So
David and Goliath.
so since you've taken this fight on board, you're taking on the large corporations. What has been? Have there any comebacks from them? Have they seen?
Well, so what happened was I went to the social media, and all of my my people supported me, and I'm really grateful for that. And then it was picked up by a newspaper, so there was an article, and once they heard about it, because
They got behind the
the
story.
newspaper would have to go to them for a quote,
Yeah.
so they knew it was coming out.
Yeah.
They contacted me and they asked for a without prejudice conversation. That's what they did. Yeah.
Standard, without prejudice.
So, and that's funny how it's a complete difference. So from that email, the tone of the email, now they
Complete
want
turnaround.
Yeah, because I think that the tone of the email really tries to set the scene for them.
that's right.
So, to hammer you with a 6-page email, most people would just say, okay, let me change the name. So for you, looking at that and saying, hold on a minute, this is my brand. I'm not going to quit my brand because I believe in it, and people that believe in your brand.
Yeah.
I'm going to fight these giants. So that to me is what makes it amazing. And that's obviously why you're here today, because we like people that fight
right.
giants.
Yes.
That's right.
Because the giants can fall.
Yes.
And it's how they fall, I think, is what's really interesting about this story, because you're going down a road now where some would say that you might, ahead of you may be great legal costs in order to keep your brand. And but me sitting here talking to you and reading up about this before, I kind of get the feeling that you're prepared for all of that.
Well, I'm going to be honest, I wasn't prepared to go head to head with them in court, because they have deeper pockets than me, so
They've
that
got
would be
deep
absolutely
pockets.
stupid. But I was prepared to fight them in the media, because I thought that's where I could win, because at the end of the day, they're an organisation, they care about reputation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, if that reputation is then tarnished, then it affects sales.
So they need to look at that really
yeah.
seriously.
I mean, I did get legal advice. I did get some legal advice, and I was advised, I'd get tied up in litigation or not to fight them. Someone told me to change the name of the brand. So I had all different types of legal advice.
Keep the name of the brand.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I thought to myself, let me do what I want to do.
Yeah.
I've created this brand 2 years ago. I had the idea 2 years ago. Now, why should I change it just because Hugo Boss tells me to?
For me, it comes across that your book clearly is making waves. Because if it wasn't making waves, they wouldn't be knocking at your door. I mean, how does that make you feel?
It makes me
Your book, how does it make you feel that your book is...
It makes me feel good, actually, that my book is making waves. That's what I want. I want my book to make waves. I want it to have an impact.
Yeah.
I want it to have a positive impact, so I'm quite happy about it.
So tell me a little bit about the book, though.
The purpose of the book is to empower women to find their greatness and to really remove themselves from the corporate plantation and become economically, powerful and independent. We face a lot of discrimination in the workplace and in schools, so it's for women and girls. So it's about really finding yourself, liking yourself, loving yourself, realising your greatness and using that to do whatever you want to do in life. And that includes being independent, not working for the system, coming out of it and feeling good about that.
Doing your thing.
Yeah, doing your thing.
Kind of like the Matrix, really.
Coming out
Yeah,
the Matrix,
yeah,
really.
yeah. And there's stories there's my story in there, so there's my personal story, and there's also a collection of stories from other women that have been
Yeah.
successful in this hostile
Yeah.
environment as well.
Wow.
So where
Wow.
is the book eventually going to be sold?
Well, the book, I'm still writing the book, but the book hopefully will be out by Christmas. It will be initially available on Amazon, but also available from me directly as well. And also when I do events, it will be available there too.
Amazing. Really, really amazing story.
And you know,
Yeah.
I've got to say this because it just adds to the amazement that you've got Bajan heritage.
True Bajan
Would you have
here,
to
right
go there?
here, right here.
I'm the only it's two Bajans on the panel
You don't
today.
upset a black woman and a Bajan black woman
Come on.
at the same time. All the bees.
Help me.
Yeah, right, all the
Help
bees,
me.
all the way.
But in all seriousness, though, I do wish you all the best. I know you're a fighter. I know you're not going to give this thing up. I know, and I'm looking forward to seeing your book out there. Not only at small events, I want to see it on the world stage. I want to see it out there.
Yeah.
And so I'm really looking forward to that. And again, it's a pleasure that you came in today.
For me, I'm not a massive reader, but I love to follow people's stories.
Yes.
And it sounds like in your book you've got stories.
They're great stories.
Yeah,
You should read it. You should read. Can I just show your following the trademark? It's now a registered trademark. Dark Girl Boss has been accepted by the Intellectual Property Office.
Wow.
It's now a legally protected registered trademark.
Wow.
Don't play with Bajans here. Don't play. Don't play with Bajans.
So again, thanks for watching. A really interesting topic.
Thank you so much for having me.
One of the
Thank you.
first, a fitting guest, a great topic, a very, very relevant topic. Because if you fight the monster, you empower others.
Well, I'm showing
to
people
follow
it can
you.
be done. It can be
It can
done.
be
and
done.
I'm showing people it can be done.
So it can be done.